Welcome to Kaijutopia. I'm Tom, and we're celebrating the new year by reflecting on how 2023 belongs to Godzilla. In this video, I'm going to be praising Godzilla films, TV shows, comic books, toys, and making the case for why 2023 marks as a turning point not only for the Godzilla character, but for the Godzilla series as a whole. The year 2023 belongs to Godzilla, which is why we're jumping back in time to the 1940s. Post-war Japan was a great setting to tell this new extraordinary kaiju tale. We've never seen a Godzilla film like Godzilla Minus One because it honestly feels less like a kaiju flick and more like a serious drama. With endearing characters, state-of-the-art visual effects, several genuinely terrifying, heart-pounding action sequences, a grandiose original soundtrack, and powerful themes of love, guilt, sacrifice, and forgiveness that resonated, Godzilla Minus One is one of the greatest Godzilla films ever made, and it's my #1 film pick of the year. In another video, I explained why I think Godzilla Minus One changes everything. Granted, I was thinking of its long-term potential, which is why I compared it to the original Gojira film and the efficacies of its impact on pop culture. That being said, Godzilla Minus One has, at the time of this recording, made over 70 million worldwide. A live-action Toho-produced Godzilla film released in its original Japanese language with subtitles is lighting up cinemas all over the globe. Minus One has achieved near universal critical acclaim, with director Takeshi Yamazaki interested in doing a sequel. And of course, with Toho announcing that they're going to be taking their time adapting and making this next movie, all signs point to this being the beginning of potentially a new series of films. Something tells me in the years to come, Godzilla will neither be mocked by conceited film elites nor dismissed by mainstream audiences. Instead, Godzilla will be revered in the pop culture zeitgeist and will finally take his place as the cinematic legend he has always been. Oh wait, that is happening now, and Godzilla Minus One is largely responsible for it. Of course, it can't take sole credit, don't get me wrong. If Minus One was the only Godzilla related project released this year, it would have single-handedly claimed ownership of 2023, but fortunately for G-fans, we're not even halfway through our Atomic Buffet line. In an age of superheroes, wizards, and alien blue cat people, there's one series that has not only endured, it's evolved into a thriving shared universe. Against all odds, the Monsterverse is still here a decade later. Taking cues from earlier eras like Showa, Millennium, and Heisei, the Monsterverse has adapted accordingly, and in doing so, has successfully introduced iconic characters like Godzilla and Kong to a whole new generation. Let's go in order. We're going to talk about Netflix's Skull Island series. It is the first animated entry into the Monsterverse, and it gives us really great characters. I enjoyed the cast. They were quite diverse and all had interesting arcs and personalities. I loved the sense of humor. I also thought Kong was spectacular. Even Kong had a character arc here. It really helped us understand him more, not only as the king of Skull Island, but as a character, which is something the Monsterverse has done exceptionally well for the monsters, actually making them characters with personalities, and Kong here is leading the charge. Sorry Godzilla fans, I think Kong is the Titan protagonist of the Monsterverse. Skull Island here sets him up to be just that. There's no word on whether or not we're getting a season 2. Never say never though. But I also wouldn't hold my breath. As much as I liked Skull Island, the unnecessary cliffhanger without a second season being guaranteed definitely takes it down a few pegs. Overall, I'd love to see more kaiju animations. The Monsterverse continues to grow, so venturing into animation makes a great deal of sense. Next, let's talk about Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. The new Apple TV Plus show is breaking records. It's as of this recording, #1 the most watched Apple TV Plus show. I'm absolutely loving this show. I love the human element. The human characters are what the Monsterverse excels at. In many ways, Monarch Legacy of Monsters feels like a true sequel to 2014's Godzilla and Kong Skull Island, connecting the earlier Monsterverse films in a profound, unique way. True to the first Monsterverse entries and either kaiju-centered films produced by Legendary like Pacific Rim, the Titans feel incomprehensibly larger than life. They're true forces of nature, both terrifying and awe-inspiring. Also, seeing new monsters is always a blessing. The Frost Vark and Ion Dragon are wickedly cool additions to the Monsterverse Titan roster. Speaking of Titans, Godzilla is king, and when he shows up, it's worth every second. Learning about the founding of Monarch was something I never knew I wanted. Seriously, it's kind of strange because up till like the events of Godzilla vs. Kong, so you know, past like 2023, 2024-ish, I kind of feel like the mystery of Monarch is kind of like almost an oxymoron. It kind of cancels itself out, like, what mystery? But now, you know, I kind of feel like the events of Legacy, the show is doing a pretty good job at, you know, telling us that there's more than meets the eye. And it's the show is doing an exceptional job at world building. What I love most about this show is how it explores the dualities of truth and mystery, not only when it comes to exploring the mythology of the Monsterverse, but also the characters as well. And I'm hoping we get a second season. All right, so let's talk briefly about Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Currently, we're only 3 issues in. I've been providing coverage, so be sure to check out my breakdown videos if you haven't yet. As a huge Godzilla fan, a huge Superman fan, Batman fan, Wonder Woman fan, Kong fans, all the fans, this is a dream come true crossover for me. And surprisingly, it has an interesting storyline. Honestly, I would have been perfectly complacent with superhero punching giant monster. What can I say? Simplicity is healthy. But the character writing has been spot on. For example, Superman behaves like Superman. I'm really enjoying this comic. One last thing, I love how Godzilla's purpose he's all about maintaining balance, right? Which puts him at odds with the dysfunctional DC universe. So I can't wait to see what happens next. It would be strange not to talk about Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, which is set to premiere in April 2024. The official trailer dropped in 2023, hence why I'm bringing it up, and I think we're all the better for it. Honestly, this film looks fun. I'm fonder of the more serious works of G14, Kong Skull Island, and Legacy of Monsters. However, Godzilla vs. Kong was enjoyable, and New Empire looks like it'll take it up a notch. I understand some people are complaining about how the Monsterverse seems to be going down the MCU route. I mean, it really does look like a superhero flick, just with monsters instead of, like, say, the Avengers. As a fan of the MCU, I don't really take this as an insult, but I can totally see where people are coming from. All I can say is please wait until you see the film before passing judgment. I'm also going to take a moment and just say, while 2023 may be the year of Godzilla, there's one Titan who's arguably benefited the most from the Monsterverse, and it's Kong. There's a good reason why Kong is the main Titan protagonist, which I'll be exploring more in future videos, but I gotta say, Kong has really benefited the most. I love what they've done with him as a character. He's really grown up, both figuratively and literally, since Skull Island, so I can't wait to see more of Kong. I'm sure the New Empire will explore Kong and how, you know, he's actually not the last member of his kind. How's Kong going to react to not only discovering that there are more Kongs, but not only that, but they're under the brutal tyranny of Scar King. Expect the New Empire to be an emotional journey for Kong as a character. And I'm going to be there on day one. Oh, we interrupt this Godzilla simping broadcast to quickly rave about Gamera Rebirth. Gamera is back, baby, and I couldn't be happier. Originally seen as a discount Godzilla ripoff, Gamera has long established himself as his own beast. The brand new rebirth design is outstanding, perfectly capturing what made Gamera a steadfast protector while highlighting his more fearsome characteristics. And he's not alone. Gamera's classic rogues gallery are here, sporting imposing new appearances that are perfectly suited to their fearsome personalities. Gauss, Jiger, Zigra, and Virus all have received brand spanking new redesigns that not only look great, but they're implemented in a satisfying way. And let's not forget the sharpest tool in the shed, Girin, who single-handedly stole the show every second he was seen slicing and dicing on screen. Gamera wouldn't be complete without his amazing friends. The rebirth protagonists are great. All of them play an instrumental role in not only the plot, but in the others' lives, helping each other learn and grow along the way. Using children as your leads is always challenging because it's a lot to ask for, but in animation, it's a little different. You're not putting a young actor in front of the camera. Usually an adult is doing the voice work, even if the character they're playing is young. Greater emphasis can be placed on the character's personality, behavior, and motivations, and how all that interplays with the story. Gamera Rebirth excelled at giving us memorable characters, all of whom had unique personalities, relatable flaws, and solid arcs. There's a lot more that can be said of the show, like the mysteries of the Eustace Foundation, Gamera's ancient past, the origins of the kaiju, and what we could see in future follow-ups, but for now, my high praise will just have to suffice. Check out Gamera Rebirth if you haven't already. You'll believe a fire-breathing turtle can fly. Let's talk about Godzilla Day. Godzilla Day is quickly becoming one of my favorite annual events, and I know you do as well. Recorded live in Japan, it's a series of festivities celebrating our favorite atomic monster. From stunning short films to upcoming toy merch announcements, Godzilla Day is a day to remember. We're going to talk about Godzilla Fest 4 Jet Jaguar, which is a modern day classic. Tokusatsu filmmaking techniques were utilized efficiently in this short flick. I absolutely was beaming the entire time, guys. I literally had my Jet Jaguar grin on my face. I liked how the modern effects worked seamlessly with classic filmmaking techniques. Loved the compositing work. Those bird's eye view shots of Tokyo with Godzilla composited in looked stunning. And Jet Jaguar, his new suit is awesome. I liked his involvement here. He truly was. It was true to character, guys. I mean, I love me Jet Jaguar, but Jet Jaguar and his personality really shined here. King Ghidorah's cliffhanger surprise rocked me. I kind of expected a cliffhanger, you know, more like maybe Gigan or Hedorah recently, you know, resurrected, of course, suddenly showing up, but it was King Ghidorah instead, which was awesome. All I can say is I'm greatly looking forward to the next one. Alright, let's talk about Godzilla vs. Megalon, the Gemstone Godzilla series, known for its immaculate Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex short film. We got Megalon. The new Gemstone Megalon design has become, in my book, the definitive look for the Cetopian deity. In this film, Megalon is sadistic, brutal, and he's a wickedly cool powerhouse. Like a seasoned executioner, Megalon gave Godzilla a run for his Gojiran money. The animation is great. Sometimes the kaiju move a bit too fast, but that seems to be the aesthetic of the series. I liked how this short used a balance of live action and CG animation. The VFX compositing work was great, so props to the motion graphics artists on this. Let's not forget the potential for these short films. Many fans, including myself, see the Gemstone Godzilla films as a sort of alternate continuation of the Heisei Godzilla series. Adult Godzilla Jr. is back and more powerful than ever. Granted, Toho has neither confirmed nor denied this being the case, which is why it is at best just a fan theory. Nevertheless, these films have the potential to continue where solo films and or series left off. Imagine a sequel to GMK or the Kiryu duology, maybe even a sequel to Shin Godzilla. There's so much they can do, and I hope Toho capitalizes on this gold mine. I'm greatly looking forward to the next Gemstone entry. Oh, who knows? I'm thinking we're getting a modern show at Mechagodzilla, so that would be pretty cool. Alright, we're going to be talking about the comics. Godzilla Rivals Volume 1 and 2 were released this year. These stories work more like anthologies, so don't expect much continuity. There are several stories, like the one starring Space Godzilla, Rodan versus Ebirah, Hedorah, Mothra, Batra, and a kaiju gladiator bout involving King Ghidorah. I'm not going to give any breakdowns here, as I'm planning on doing that in future videos, but please check them out. They're amazing stories. Speaking of amazing storylines, we're currently only 2 issues in for the incredible Godzilla War for Humanity comic book series, which is quickly becoming one of my favorites. Again, don't expect any page-by-page breakdowns here. That will be in another video, but this comic is an absolute must-read for Godzilla fans. The art alone is just extraordinary. Also, I must admit, I didn't have a swashbuckling tale of Godzilla and pirates on my comic book bingo card, but here we are. Godzilla Here There Be Dragons is another great comic book. Viewer discretion advised. It is geared towards mature readers, but, you know, according to YouTube analytics, most of you are allegedly mature, so I recommend this one for you as well. But for younger readers, Godzilla Monsters and Protectors is one of my favorite Godzilla comics. All Hail the King is the follow-up. It was released this year, and it gives us King Ghidorah, King Caesar, and the nefarious Planet X. It brings them all into the fold. Of course, Summer Smash is the epic conclusion to the Monsters and Protectors storyline, and we get to see Mothra, Jet Jaguar, and Mecha King Ghidorah take center stage in it. These comics are fun, engaging, and are appealing to readers of all ages. Check them out. By the way, there are 2 Gamera Rebirth manga series. One seems to be a comic book adaptation of the anime, but the other is a prequel series. It's called Gamera Rebirth, code Thersos, and the first chapter is available for free. Head to global.bookwalker.jp to read it today. Alright, we're going to close out this video by raving about a few of my most favorite things: toys and books. Let's start with the books. Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again, written by Shigeru Kayama and translated by Jeffrey Engels. The Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again novels serve as a must-read companion to anyone that are fans of the iconic films. Reading these helped me gain greater insight and understanding of the characters and themes. It's highly recommended. Be sure to check it out. This next one is written by Olivia Lucchini. Love from Godzilla is a cute little book. It's perfect for story time. I've been reading it to my son every night for the past week. Alright, guys, it's time for toys. Let's talk toys. From Hiya Toys to Super 7 to Mezco Toys to SH Monster Arts, toy collectors, photographers, and stop-motion artists alike are in heaven, and we're also absolutely broke. From the SH Monster Arts lineup, we have Mecha King Ghidorah. Insane. This figure is just outstanding. And then there's Shin Godzilla 4th Form Night Combat. The incredible Gigan. Oh my god, I love this figure. The Godzilla 91 Shinjuku Decisive Battle figure is, I've heard great things about it. It looks great and moves great. All the great articulation. Godzilla -1 as well. Mechagodzilla Garuda and Fire Rodan all in one package. So if you missed out on the original Super Mecha Godzilla Rodan releases, here you go. Space Godzilla Fukuoka Decisive Battle, where Space Godzilla is injured. It looks stunning. Absolutely just insane. SH Monster Arts came out this year. Just reminding everyone why they're here to stay. And of course, the Hiya toys are great as well. I'm a huge fan of the releases we've been seeing of Monsterverse Burning Godzilla and the Godzilla King of the Monsters look as well, and other variants too. King Kong, awesome. Just Hiya is knocking out of the park. I can't wait for their Mechagodzilla, for their Skull Crawlers, Mutos, that's coming out in 2024. At least I think their Mecha Godzilla is. And let's not forget the Hayatoy's King Ghidorah. Incredible figure, just... Also, back to SH Monsterverse, let's not forget the announcements, pre-orders for Godzilla 1972 and Jet Jaguar. Chef's kiss, guys. Ooh, chef's kiss. There have been prominent releases from Super 7 and Mezco Toys 2. The Super 7 releases for Destroya and Burning Godzilla look just absolutely stunning. Mezco has a massive Ultimate Godzilla figure, and of course we're going to be seeing more from their lineup being released here in the new year. Okay, Godzilla fans, it's time to put down the atomic reactor and rest for a bit, because 2024 will soon be upon us. It's going to be an exceptional year for the King of the Monsters. Thank you all for stomping by and for your support. Really, I appreciate it. It's been a great year for the channel. It continues to grow and flourish because of amazing people like you. Stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you all next year.